Wonderful. So warm welcome to this, I believe this is the 8th meeting of leaders and partners. Today is the 18th of February, 2025. And a reminder of what this is about. This is funded by the EU's for Health program, the IFRC, the International Federation of Red Cross, collaborating with the Geneva Learning Foundation. Now, we have 5 points on the agenda. And so the first will be to present to you the 75 PFA focal points, or those who agreed to have their names shared, because we do value confidentiality. Second is to explain how you can get early access to the to new PFA certified courses. So PFA, of course, is psychological first aid. 3 is how to get your colleagues to join PFA Connect on the 26th of February. So that is where we'll be asking you how Carmen or Zia or others, how you are engaging with your colleagues, what they are telling you in response. Are they? And so we'll be turning to you for that one. The next steps. There are a number of organizations of focal points who have said, my organization is ready to. Let me just see if I can get my video on as well. Yeah. So who have said that my organization is ready to formally become a partner of the certificate program. So we're going to tell you exactly what to do next, as well as answer any questions. Some of you said you needed more information or you needed to, so we'll be getting into that. And then number 5, and this is actually where we'll be spending most of the time in the meeting, is your inputs to the key learning points from PFA Connect 2. And in order to have a useful discussion there, I'm going to share, just in case you have not seen them, I'm going to share, let me see if I can find them, PFA Connect. Okay, no, I actually don't have them in my list. But I can ask Charlotte or Julia to share the link to the PFA Connect 2 key learning points in the chat. And invite those of you, invite our leaders and partners now focal points to actually have a look at those before we get to that discussion. So for that discussion, we'll be asking you many questions and asking for you both to help improve PFA Connect. And just if you could type, if you were actually present. Okay, thanks, Charlotte. Yeah. And yeah, if you could just type yes if you were actually at PFA Connect, but you can actually go to the Google Doc link that Charlotte has just shared and see for yourself what actually comes out of a PFA Connect event. And that is where we expect to spend most of the time. Happy to answer any questions. Just for Anastasia, it looks, Zoom says that you need to update Zoom, which is why we're not able to activate your microphone. So first point on the agenda is really just the presentation of the PFA focal points. So we announced last week, we had back-to-back meetings. Usually we'll have a fortnightly, so every 14 days, we'll have these leaders and partners meetings. This time we had so much going on, we needed to break it up into 2 separate meetings. And so we announced 34 focal points that last Tuesday. And the deadline was Friday the 14th. And by Friday the 14th, we actually had, and I think there's a few that came in through the weekend, we had 75 focal points. You can see that most of the focal points are based in Ukraine. So these are organizational focal points. This is not just an individual who is a focal point, but also saying, I am the focal point for my organization. And then you can see the mix. We have 9 focal points from Red Cross national societies. Now, in some cases, there may be more than 1 focal point for a national society, for a Red Cross society. That is fine. And in some cases, people have the full support of their organization, of their management. And in other cases, it's really individual initiative. Both options are fine. We understand that every organization is different. And then in terms of the roles on the right-hand side, you can see that most are practitioners, which is exactly what we want for the certificate program. But you can see also an impressive number of the focal points within their organizations are directors or senior managers, as well as department leaders. So that's a really impressive roster to have. Now, very pleased to introduce three bilingual focal points that identified as bilingual in accepting the invitation. So that is Olena Filipova, Oksana Polishuk, and I will ask Anna or Yulia to read the Cyrillic name.
Вітаю, this is Юлія Сидорук.
Yeah. Can you repeat that?
This is Юлія Сидорук.
Okay, Julia's okay. Yes, thank you. I thought I recognized. So for the English speaking focal points, we have Alexandra Zorek, Anna Vrovek. So that is from NGO in Slovenia. Alexandra Zorek is from the Positive Education Institute in Poland. Carmen Daniela Stepan Tataru is from the Asocia Social Active from Romania. Elena Andras from Romanian Red Cross, Hamza Hamouye from Turkish Red Cross, Iosif Xatlos Dima from Romanian National Probation Directorate, so that's the Timis County Probation Service in Romania, Sozan Kasam El Henawi from Icelandic Red Cross, and then Wendy Salisbury from British Red Cross. And I'm not going to read the name of every Ukrainian speaker, but this is really something that we did not expect to happen. At least not so quickly, is really impressive level of engagement, commitment, participation from Ukrainian speakers, primarily in Ukraine. You can see some are from other countries in Europe. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, 7 screens of Ukrainian-speaking PFA focal points. Yulia, I don't know if you've had a chance to really look at the full list to get us a feel for who is joining, primarily from Ukraine. Can you comment on who are these focal points based on what information they shared about themselves and about
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, we were delighted to see that we have a very different people. So we have like national-wide NGOs, but we also have a small initiative, and we even had like a district, a small state services like school or cultural center, etc. Which is very lovely to see. Thanks everyone for joining our network of PFA focal points.
Wonderful. Yeah, so any questions or comments about that? I'd like to actually ask Carmen, and I believe Zia and Anna. All three of you, I believe, are focal points. I'd like to ask each of you to tell us why you accepted the invitation to become focal points. We already knew about your commitment and engagement and your participation in these leaders and partners meetings, and your patience as well, because it took us a while to actually formalize the invitation. Anna, how are you doing? Are you able to speak to us and tell us?
I'm a bit sick. I get just flu, but yes, I really like to share my knowledge about my Montessori and pedology and forest pedology. So I'm very studying about this kind of stuff. At the moment, I'm not so much active, but I'm going back to the field. So I will help you to how you can create a workshop. So I'm here from the field work. So I have experience from the field work, and I would like to share my knowledge with you guys. So any information how you can work with the children, because I have this natural clarification working with the young children, not just with the Ukrainians, also with the Syrians and Romani people. So I have different kind of skills that I can be used, and I would like to share it. So I will also like how to say, make some model about training, how we can use different materials, how working with the refugees, so yeah.
Okay, thank you, Anna. And can you tell us, that we have the next PFA Connect number 3 coming up on the 26th of February. So do you have a topic? Is this a topic that you'd like to propose for discussion
I would like
in that
to do
context?
some small training, like a small, I have a lot of material to share. So I will maybe prepare something. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah,
That's much
because I
appreciated.
know a lot of people are coming from the psychological ground, but I'm anthropologist, I'm cultural anthropologist. So I'm using I'm combination of anthropology and youth work, because in Slovenia, a lot of people are social workers, but abroad I was living in Turkey, I work with the refugees among Syrian ones in Turkey, and I was also in the Middle East 2 years ago. So I will share my knowledge, what I learned. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Anna. And do you have colleagues in Slovenia that you've
At the
invited to
moment,
join
I'm
you
not
on the
working
26th?
anymore with this organization, but my colleague is, I send this stuff to my colleague who is Ukraine working in Spain. So, yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Anna. All right, and let's go
Yeah,
to Carmen.
but I share with my ex-colleagues, so they will check the stuff. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. That's just the more so the principle with peer learning is that until we have sufficient numbers. Excuse me, I'm sneezing very intensely. Until we have sufficient numbers, peer learning is going to be less effective than it can be, which is why we ask you to invite your colleagues, and also so that they too can benefit from peer learning and contribute to it. Carmen Daniela Stepan Tataru, welcome to you from Romania. Can you introduce yourself and then tell us why you responded positively and accepted the invitation to become a focal point?
Of course, I'm Carmen. It's okay for me to tell me by just Carmen.
Yes.
I'm president and founder of Social Active Association. I work in social field and educational field since 2002. I have a really big background of working on the field with almost all the type of beneficiary in risk, all the ages. And since the day zero of the war, I was involved in providing emergency services by phone, by online, and by our network in Romania, trying to help the refugees to find a way to live in Romania. We had last 2 years a program for integration of refugees and psychological counseling and services in emergency cases, but also different groups working with children and adults and families from Ukraine. And it was everything new for us. We just apply and step by step learn things from network for other NGOs, and I want to believe, and we had very good results working with these groups. We know now 4 or 5 communities very big of refugees in Romania, and 3 of them are still partners, like it's Olga. And Grace of our project, she opened her own NGO to continue helping people in Romania and also in Ukraine. Why I'm here? It's because I need also information, and I want to know more people and to work with people around the world. And also because our team, it's half of social workers, sociologists, people from education network and system, but also very important part of the team are psychologists. We have a lot of background, and we develop, I want to say, it's a rare program, like we call it life skills, activities, and everything should learn a person to can be independent in the life and surviving and choose what is good for him. So we work since 2008 and developed this program by our teams. I hope my English is okay because I didn't speak English lately. So it's a program we believe if we apply this in each communities, we can have a rate of or decreasing rate of poverty and analphabetism, school abandoning, bullying, it will decrease at least 30%. And also all the social problem can be solved by working like we do. We have also results after all many years, and so many beneficiaries have already been in our program. So I would like to share what we do. I would like also to learn, and let's hope maybe we work together for others. And of course, we are in a very difficult position with everything that's happening in politics, and honestly, we are afraid of being in a war as soon as we cannot imagine. So it's very important for us to work with people around the world and try to find solution for having peace and helping those in need. Thank you.
It sounds like, yeah, it sounds like Carmen and Anna. One of the things that could be helpful in the PFA Connect would be to have a kind of place where leaders like yourselves can present the resources, the tools, the activities that you lead and share with others. Of course, I would ask you both to think about, this is a program focused on psychological first aid, so how you are using psychological first aid in your activities, but we'll come back to that. Now, I've shared the invitation to PFA Connect, and I just want to demonstrate. Let me just see if I can do a quick demo of how, let me see if I'm going to switch and ask you to do this as a practical activity, as we like to call it. So if you haven't done this yet, let me just, yeah. So here you can have I'm now sharing my browser. Now, if you look in the chat, you'll see share the invitation to PFA Connect. And if you are on WhatsApp, for example, you click on the link that says WhatsApp, and this is what you'll see. Now, I'm on the desktop computer if you're on your phone, but anyway, this will open up your WhatsApp so you can share with anybody in your network and we ask that you do so that your colleagues can be, this is like with one click, you can actually share your colleagues. We share with your colleagues. We know you're busy. So we're really, and the same thing with Telegram. And if you have Ukrainian speaking colleagues, we have the same links so you can share in Ukrainian. Now, for those of you, we did mid last week. So this was before we had the full number. We actually did it, and I hope you can see my screen. We had actually an announcement. And right now there's only four people who have liked the announcement. No one has reposted it. So this is actually on LinkedIn. If you're, I don't know, in your country, LinkedIn may or may not be very popular, but globally it's quite significant. And so this is a way of announcing actually your achievement, joining you're starting the commitment you made as a focal point. We've also included links for Facebook, Instagram, and what used to be called Twitter X. So if you are able to share with your network, to show what you are doing, and that you are being recognized as a focal point, we wanted to share that with you. Now back to the whoops. Let me just here. Yeah. So you should be seeing my screen again. So that is for the presentation of the focal points. Next, we said that focal points leaders and partners would have early access to new activities, to new learning opportunities within the program. And so that's what I'm going to share now. And if you attended PFA Connect or last week, I think I actually shared this already, you can see the curriculum timeline here for all the PFA Connect events. So these are really unique opportunities. The network is now close to 2,400 practitioners. There's a few people from outside Europe, but that's a close enough number. We have peer learning exercises coming up in Ukrainian and one in English. We have what's called the Accelerator. We'll be sharing a lot more about that very soon. And then we have self-guided courses, including the Introduction to PFA for Children. So this is really a resource for leaders, partners, and organizational focal points. And the reason I'm sharing that with you now, let me just see where did my link go? All right, it looks like I've lost again my link. No, here it is. So the first thing I'd like to show you is actually the and I'll share the link right now in, again, here. And again, what I recommend is that you actually try these links, both the links to share with your colleagues. And while you are in the meeting, with one click, you can actually make a difference and share share the announcement of the focal points and share the invitation to PFA Connect with your colleagues. But what I want to show you now is here, right, is the invitation to learn psychological first aid for children in 20 minutes. Now, if you already have training in PFA for children, this is probably not for you. But if you have colleagues or volunteers that you work with and they have never had a PFA for children training, this is likely to be relevant. And so all you need to do is click on the link I shared in the chat. And because you are now leaders and partners and focal points, you are welcome to share this link with people so with colleagues and with volunteers. It is completely free, so it's open access. There's a little bit of background here. Now, it is, in principle, open to professionals from the 27 EU countries and Ukraine. You can try the link that I shared in the chat right now and simply enroll here. Once you are enrolled, you will see then you can begin to take the course. There's a little bit of background here. You just need to answer, tell us about yourself. There's a little bit of background. Then you share your feedback and you get your certification. So it's really as simple as that. There's an article you can read even before you start. That will tell you about the story behind the making of this e-learning course. I'm proud to say that Julia, in our team working with Séverine, they worked pretty intensively. You can see them here to put this module together. It was originally offered through the Child Hub platform, where some of you may have actually already taken it, but we're now offering through the Geneva Learning Foundation's own platform. And right now we have not publicly announced it because we're asking you to try the course and give us feedback. So if you'd like to try the course and give us feedback, type yes. You can also share with colleagues. The only thing we ask is at the next Leaders and Partners meeting, we'll be asking you for that, for feedback if you're able to get feedback from your colleagues. So I hope that will be seen as welcome, and then we'll be rolling this out in different languages in the coming weeks, and we'll be in, of course, each and every time partners and leaders, organizational focal points will be first to hear about these and to have access. Okay. Now, we do have the peer learning exercise. That's also all of you here, I think, have already taken that, but we encourage you to recommend it to your colleagues. They can still apply. We haven't announced the exact dates, but they should definitely apply. And then the thing we're most excited about is, if you recall the Insights report that was based on that shared the experiences of children, caregivers, and helpers. We're actually turning that into a course. That'll be 6 modules with certificates. And again, we'll be inviting leaders, partners, organizational focal points to give you first and early access to these resources. Overall, we're launching what's called the Go platform. So this will have learning pathways for PFA for children, for busy practitioners in English and Ukrainian, and in some cases for other languages as well. If your organization is especially interested in a specific language, because you know that the professionals that you work with do not speak either English or Ukrainian, definitely let us know. We're looking really at this being sort of driven by practitioner needs. So that is the update on the courses. Want to mark a stop here to ask you now how you are doing as organizational focal points, part of your terms of reference, to share the announcement for program activities. And of course, right now, the first activity that we've launched this year is called PFA Connect. And I would like to ask you how it is going very concretely. How many people from your organization will be joining PFA Connect on 26 February. I'd like to start with Mohammed Rahim. Mohammed, a warm welcome to you. I hope you're able to speak to us, and would love to hear from you how how within Icelandic Red Cross, what sort of response you've gotten to PFA Connect, and how many of your colleagues will be joining you in 2 weeks?
Hi, thank you, Rida, and hi, everyone. At first, I just want to clarify that I'm not the focal point. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to respond to the email of the focal point, honestly, Rida. And I'm really busy with a lot of things, but of course, I will be happy to take part in that. I did the announcement, I think so, at the beginning. Yeah, yesterday, exactly yesterday. And I'm just waiting now for response. But from my point of view, I think me and Soli, I think so, and Sausan, I think will be at least attending the PFA Connect on the 26th of February. And I will wait for
Okay.
other responses.
Okay, wonderful. Could I ask you if you have shared on, or if Icelandic Red Cross has shared on social media the announcements? So we have the
No.
announcement. No, okay.
So no, I'm planning, but because today I'm working from home, a little bit sick, but it's okay. I'm planning tomorrow to announce it on our workplace. The website
All right.
workplace
Yeah,
we
on
have
Facebook.
within the
Yeah,
Icelandic Red Cross.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. And does that usually work? What kind of response does that get? Because everyone's so busy.
Sorry, say it again. Didn't hear you, Rida.
Is workplace a good place to mobilize staff and volunteers? Because everyone is so busy, and sometimes these websites, nobody really looks at them. How does that work with Icelandic Red Cross?
Oh, it is really active within the Icelandic Red Cross, and whenever anyone posts something, we will get an email, and it has
Oh,
a really
great.
high interaction within the Icelandic Red Cross. It's very active.
Okay, that's wonderful. And
Yes.
Mohammed, can I ask you if you are active on social media personally?
Yes, I am kind of active. Yo.
Okay, because I just posted, if you look in the chat, you'll see there's a bunch of links to share the announcement for PFA Connect 3.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
going to
check it
show
on
you.
the chat.
All right, great.
Yo.
And so let me just see. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how simple it is, I hope. So if you are active on Facebook, for example, you go to the Facebook link, and there you will find the announcements. Now this, the announcement here, and you know what? I think what all you need to do is really 3 clicks. Well, 2 clicks and an optional comment, like, share. Yes, you can share to a group or a page if you're admin on one of those. Otherwise, you share to your feed, and then a comment. I think that's the most valuable one of all. Let me just ask Carmen. Yes, Carmen, you have your hand raised. Would love to hear from you.
Please let me understand. So we can share this program as many partners or professional we know.
Yes, absolutely. And the more people, because this is peer learning, there is no upper limit. And the more participants join, the better. They do not need to have PFA experience. If they do not have PFA experience, then we will ask them to take to complete the 20-minute e-learning module. But this is truly open for everyone.
Okay, good, because we are part of I don't know, at least 200 NGOs from Romania. So I will share in our WhatsApp group and give this opportunity. Thank you. That's great.
Carmen, that would be much appreciated. At some point, someone said exactly the same thing you did, but for Ukrainian NGOs. And then that resulted in Ukrainians being the largest group in the program, which is in a way as it should be, right? Because this is about Ukrainian children. But all it took was one person that is known in the NGO world sharing the announcement, and then the rest yes, happens serendipitously. So just would like to ask. Let me just see if there are others who'd like to share on this topic. And I see there are 2 Carmen. So So Anna or Anastasia or Iosif, Sozan, if you'd like to speak on this topic, and just if you could type yes if you have shared the announcement for PFA Connect 3 once you have done it, if you've already done it. In some cases, I know that's already the case. Thank you. So that Okay, so that we're at the half-hour mark. If you have any, so if you have, thank you, Anna. And if you have any, again, there is no upper limit to the number of participants. Very often with training, it's the opposite. An organization will have, I don't know, 25 seats, and so you have to figure out of the many volunteers or the many staff, how many, who are you going to support for the training? This is very different because it is peer learning. The more practitioners join, the more ideas we will get. And the more ideas we get, the more likely you are likely to find a solution or to have one of your ideas be helpful to someone else. So that is the challenge. And again, just to share again, in the same spirit, if you have the for those of you who are focal points, we announced we announced it was an interim announcement, but we wanted to get it out as soon as it happened. So if you haven't seen this yet, you have the same system. So you have the links, and then you click on the links, and what we ask you to do is to like, repost, and comment. The first two will not take any effort. It really is just a click, and then that helps make sure that people in your network actually see that. Now, just a quick update for the, let me just see, yeah. Okay, I see one of these is out of order. Okay. Okay, so the next steps for organizations that have said that they're ready, so in some focal points have told us that they're ready to become formal partners. So just to try to give you an idea of what that means, and we'll be following up bilaterally, but there's so many organizational focal points that said we're ready, that I wanted to update you on this aspect. And so very simple. We'll be sharing a very simple partnership agreement. We agree to support each other. We agree to the common purpose and the child protection and the humanitarian principles. And then what we will do is we will begin to list your organization as a partner of the certificate peer learning program. So that will give visibility, and we'll ask you to reciprocate if that's possible for your organization. So that is a very quick update. So let me just see. Yeah. Right. So that is the update. Now, what we'd like to spend, we'll see, because so I hope we can hear from each of you. As you know, we held PFA Connect 2 on the 12th of February, so that was almost a week ago. And on Monday, those of you who attended or contributed to PFA Connect 2 received certification. However, we consider leaders and partners to be a special group. You are exceptional through your dedication and commitment, and some of you have significant experience and expertise. Now, this is not a group necessarily defined by high-level expertise. We welcome someone who is new to PFA for children, but who is committed and dedicated and wants to help make a difference. So this is a mixed group. It's different from, say, technical expert, other groups of technical experts. So what I'm going to do is just review, because we know that most, if not all of you, participated in PFA Connect 2. Just want to review with you, go in a little bit more depth, and then ask you for feedback about the key learning points from PFA Connect 2. I'm going to ask Charlotte to share that link again. For some reason, I don't have it in my cheat sheet. And just if I could ask you to look at that link. If you attended PFA Connect 2, what I'm going to review quickly, you've already seen before. What my suggestion is that while I walk through what we've done with PFA Connect 1 and 2, that you can actually, thanks, Charlotte. All right, that you can actually, let me see if I can just clarify what that is, key learning points from PFA Connect 2. So if you can actually, here, click on the Google Docs link that Charlotte shared. And you can actually read that if you already know what what we reviewed in PFA Connect last Wednesday. So as you know, PFA Connect 1, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics, probably too many. We did honor everyone who contributed or participated. So let me just share the honor roll here. You can go and see your name. And of course, we recognize, it's important for us to recognize contributions because PFA Connect is community driven. And of course, we shared the key learning from PFA Connect 1 in English and in Ukrainian. So don't go looking at that document. You should already have seen it. It is now final. But as you know, with PFA Connect, every 2 weeks, it is a learning cycle over the course of 2 weeks. Before the event, so before the PFA Connect event, we ask you to do 3 things. Invite your colleagues, share your experience, and then register for the next session. When the live event happens, as you know, we meet in small groups. We discuss real-world questions and challenges, and then we share practical solutions, tools, and practices. And the group decides if they want to extend the session. Initially, we said 30 minutes. It actually takes 45 to 60 minutes, and then the group decides to extend the session. We'll be more transparent about that now that we know the level of interest. Afterwards, this is the critical part. Talking is good, but what actually matters is getting something useful that you can use. And that's why we wanted to come to you as leaders, partners, focal points, because we want to know if this is actually helping you and what we can do to improve PFA Connect. So just to recap, PFA Connect happens on Wednesday. The next one is on 26 February. By Sunday is the deadline for certification. Monday, everyone who participated receives the key learning points. So if you don't participate, you don't get to see the key learning points until much later. So part of the incentive is if you're actively contributing, you get to see what comes out of PFA Connect. You get to be the first to see what comes out of PFA Connect. That seems fair to us. You need to check your name in the acknowledgements, you get your certificate. And the things you have to do by Friday. That's the deadline to add your inputs to the key learning points draft. So that is what's going on this week. We started on Monday, and then everyone has until Friday to add your inputs to the key learning points draft. So I don't want to confuse things. I'm just going to delete the reference to key learning points from PFA Connect 1. And then by the next Monday, we finalize the version of the key learning points. We'll share the key learning points with colleagues. You'll receive the honor roll, the invitation for the next PFA Connect session, and so on. So that is a learning cycle. We also have practitioner contributions. So those can be quite interesting because they then inform the choice of topics and so on. So you can see the topics on the left-hand side that we covered in ahead of PFA Connect 2. Now for PFA Connect 2, as you know, we had 3 topics. And this is where we come to the interactive part of this session. And I'd like to ask everyone to go to the Connect tool, use Google Doc, and we're going to look at it together. And really what we're looking for now, type yes if you have already reviewed it. Type no if you haven't had time to look at it, or you did not participate in Connect 2. Either is fine. Just type yes or no. So Carmen, Yusuf, Mohammed, Suzanne, Anna, Anastasia, Ina, please. Yeah, okay, that's and we know many of you are way too busy to have already looked at it. That is fine. Carmen, so I'd like to ask you to click on the link now and go there. And looking at the time, Anna was absolutely right because she predicted that we would run out of time. But you can see, so this document is supposed to be synthetic. It's supposed to be short, concise, to be useful. So you have a discussion that took place between practitioners from all over Europe. And this document is supposed to be the synthesis. So we recognize that PFA Connect 2 was joined by many people with no PFA experience. So we've added a kind of intro section just to introduce what psychological first aid is, what it's not. But now we had 3 topics. And the first one is recognizing severe reactions and the need for professional help in children. So what I'd like to ask you to do is to actually review this. I'm going to go through it, and then we'll talk about it. We'll probably only do this first topic given the time. Iosif says yes, but not deeply enough. Suzanne says no. That is understandable. Anna got a bit of a look. Yes. So what we want to figure out with you, and this is where we look to your leadership, because you are the most committed and dedicated participants who in 2024 not only successfully completed the peer learning exercise, but also participated in 1, 2, or more leaders and partners meetings, saying, I am ready to commit and to contribute to this program. So we want to recognize that exceptional engagement and ask you what you actually think of this document, how we can improve it. So for example, for this one, it was we talked about the group talked about the common signs of severe distress. And then Oksana shared her experience observing several important physical signs that she says correlate with severe distress. Again, Oksana may be an expert, but we don't know. So what we know is what she said. We cannot conclude this was not an expert group. Anyone could join. So let's be careful here. But if you see something that with your experience or your expertise, you see needs to be corrected, it can be improved, you want to add an input, you can actually do that right here and right now, simply by adding a comment, or let me see, or adding your suggestions. So if you had something to say about bitten or scratched fingertips, you can do this right now on anything in the document. You can say, here is a comment to improve this, so this bullet point item. And just to say to Carmen, so yes, Carmen, we're going to send a nice version. This is just a Google Doc for editing for everyone to contribute, but we'll send a nice finished version with a DOI so it can be cited by researchers, but it's really for practitioners. And if you're able to share it to your network, that would be awesome, especially if we can get some feedback. Is it useful? Has anybody read this and said, okay, this I can use this can help me next time I'm with a child or with a group of children. So we strive to recognize the contributions here, and just keeping an eye on the time. Then we have behavioral signs. I'm just going to remove my own comment, but please, you can do this right now. This is an active, interactive session. So you can add your comments as you read through this section. Let's see if everybody can read through this, even if you don't. Then you go back to your work and you no longer have any time to look at it. At least you will have looked at one of these and think, can this help you? And can this help colleagues? Because obviously this group has a lot of experience, but maybe you have colleagues who are just starting out, or you have volunteers who are not professionals, in helping children and supporting children. So look at this. There's some information about the behavioral signs, factors that influence children's reactions, what to do. And then there is input from the TGLF guides. So if you'd like to add your inputs, you can open your microphones and share orally what your thoughts are about this section, or just take the time to read it. And then, yes, Anastasia, would love to hear from you. And I saw that you are not supporting Ukrainian children. As you know, this is an EU project, but we welcome you probably have experience supporting. If you have experience supporting children, you have an interest in supporting children facing challenges linked to fragile contexts, your contribution is, of course, most welcome. Okay, I see someone is selecting the entire document, so please be careful about that. You are able to make suggestions. And so I'd like to ask Azia, Sozan, Mohammed, Iosif, Ina, Carmen, Anastasia, Anna, take the time to read at least this first section, and then let us know if you have inputs, comments. you can actually put them right into the document. You can use either comments or just use suggestions. Yes. So if you think, for example, severe is not necessary here, you can take it out and it appears as a comment. So we can see that is your suggestion and then either accept it or reject it. So I'm going to reject my own suggestion here. Okay, Suzanne, yes, please go ahead. All right, Suzanne, you'll have to unmute. Yes, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes. I haven't read properly. First of all, good afternoon. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, please
Yes.
go ahead.
I haven't read carefully, just I'm looking to it. So we can recognize that in a child, behavior they can express in many ways that we can see it in another way. Like you can see that he's angry, but in the real, he may be sad because not all kids know how to express themselves. What I read in the paper, like for example, neglecting the hygiene rules, particularly oral hygiene, it depends also of the age of the child. Like in the early age, this is a responsibility of the parents more than the child.
Yeah.
So could not be a clear sign for us. Beating and scratching fingertips, this is one because when a child is not feeling comfortable, the first thing he will do is eating their nails. It could be but we have to recognize what is the real feeling of a child because they express in a different way than adults or adolescents can do it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Suzanne. So
Yeah.
what I would like to ask, are you able to access the Google document?
Yes.
Okay. So again, if you do not have time, that is fine, because we know you are a busy professional. But if you see things where you would like to add inputs like what you just shared, you can do this. You can suggest this directly in the Google document.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there other comments or inputs, or just you have pasted the questions into the chat? Are there any points that you see that should be added? We're only looking at this first section, but there are two other topics also worthy of your consideration. So if you're more interested in sort of helping more than one child at once, setting priorities, you can look at that section. Or if you are most interested in remote PFA, look at that section. But anything you disagree with, let us know. If you'd like to share, have you shared this with colleagues? If so, have they considered it? Have they said anything about it? Did it help anyone is what we want to know. And we're trying to document, we're trying to determine if this is actually helpful. If it's not, we'll stop doing it. It's very simple. If it is helpful, we'd like to know how. Who is it helping? How? What difference is it actually making? I'll just... I think everyone has access to the Google Docs. So 4 questions. Are there any points that should be added? Anything that you disagree with? How useful is this to you? Have you shared with your colleagues? And if so, what have they responded? I'm just going to go to Iosif Xatlos. Iosif, a warm welcome to you. Okay, and may not be able to unmute. Okay.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Because
So
I don't know why my webcam doesn't work and I cannot use the video too. Yeah, I follow you, but it's a little bit difficult because in some hour I need to leave to Japan with my family. So we prepare luggages and ducks and so on. So it's a not very busy hour.
Okay. All right, that's wonderful. Well, is this a vacation?
Yeah, I will be back in 7 days.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so
So
then
this
we
is
can
my
only wish you a good vacation and appreciate the fact that you're joining this call when you could be focusing on yes. Can I ask you for an update though within your organization? So you're with the with a probation service, which is a government service. Have you shared the announcement for PFA Connect 3 and how many colleagues are going to be joining on the 26th of February? Because that is the next date.
Yeah, I don't think I have because I hasn't shared honest man. I hadn't shared the information because I know that my colleagues are so busy like me, and I don't know if I have some success. I think only one of my colleagues can participate in with me in 26 of because we will be back in 26 on the morning, early in the morning in Budapest, and after
Okay.
we will arrive to Timisoara in some hours. And I hope I will participate with one of my colleagues. But
Okay. But I'm a bit confused because you say only one person can participate. Then you said you haven't shared the invitation. So maybe.
yeah, but she's my colleague, but she's also my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We're we're learning a lot about you, Yosif, in this session about your personal life. But do you think do you have like a newsletter or WhatsApp group or somewhere that you could share with your colleagues just to see
yes,
if they
yes,
are
yes.
or are not interested?
We have a WhatsApp group, and I can share it with all my colleagues from my countryside. So this means the 600 and more than 600 colleagues are
Okay.
member of this professional group, and I can share, and maybe they will participate. I
Okay.
will do it. I try to do it before I leave, and after I wait in next week if they want to participate.
Okay, that would be wonderful. Yeah. And we'll see if nobody responds. But if so I put the link to share. And is this a WhatsApp group or Telegram or what is
A
it?
WhatsApp group. We usually we don't use in Romania Telegram. I don't know why, but I know why. But okay,
Okay, so then
a WhatsApp.
yes. Okay, so have you tried the WhatsApp link that I've just shared? Because it will create a WhatsApp message for you, and then all you need to do is share with the group. If you can add a personal note saying, I have joined this, it's worth going to, that is of course very important.
I will do it now in this
Okay,
minute.
all right.
Okay.
Don't tell your colleagues you're about to fly off on vacation. I don't know how it is in Romania, but in Switzerland that would not motivate colleagues. Um, but okay, thank you, Yosif. And I see Zia's hand is up. I know we just have 7 minutes, and we have to start, of course, the Ukrainian language session. Zia, yours may be the last comment for this session, but we'd love to hear from you.
Hello, I'm Zia. I'm from the Faroese Red Cross, and I'm a volunteer leader. Regarding the sharing, I have shared a few. The Faroese are not very receptive to these courses. I have been pushing it on them. I may get one Ukrainian to join in on the 26th. She has said that she is busy, but she will try. She's actually my colleague in the group for the Ukrainian mothers and children. And then another, I have shared with three colleagues, and one of them is a staff member, and she's been trying to join because she's very, very busy, but she's really trying to join. So I'm really crossing my fingers that she will join on the 26th. As for myself, on the 26th itself, I will be traveling from Denmark to the Faroe Islands, so I might not be able to join in. I will try my best.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Zia. I really appreciate your efforts. It can be, it's always a bit of a mystery how to get colleagues to, respond. What I can, but we really appreciate your efforts. The last part before we close, and this is extremely important for this project for at least two reasons. You'll get a request to complete the survey It has 5 questions on it. If you're in a hurry, you just click. Each one has a 1 to 6 scale. 6 is the highest. You strongly agree that participation changed you as a professional. A 1 is, is a bad grade. Is a negative feedback. Something we need to improve. If you have time and you have other thoughts that you'd like to share, you're always welcome to do so, but the open text questions are optional. So this is important for 2 reasons. One, so that we can hear from you feedback to help us improve. And 2, this is how we count participation with respect to the EU for Health. So please, even if you are very busy, we really appreciate it if you can. And we know the questions repeat every time. So maybe, for those of you who are very diligent, you may already be tired of these questions, but it is actually really important for the project. So I'll stop here. And let me see if I can actually share the link so that you can go to I'm just going to share the direct link so you can complete the value creation. While you are in the session, I'll just show you how, let me see, for the 18th of February, I'll just give you the direct link. So yeah, and so the deadline for that will be on Sunday. Let me just get you the direct link so everyone can go to access this link right now. So here, there's just a trick sometimes. Some of these will not work inside the chat. Let me see. Okay, this one did, yeah. So if you click on this link, you'll get taken to it's 5 quick questions. If you have no time, just do the Likert scale, 1 to 6. 6 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. If you have time to share additional feedback, then please do so. You can find the link in the chat right now. I've also, this meeting is recorded. You can go, thank you, Carmen. You can go to our YouTube channel and you can find, I don't have the playlist, but I'll just share with you the entire channel. There is a dedicated playlist for this project that you can access. And let me just, So just to get to our YouTube channel, and definitely we'd like to follow up with you to see how we can connect with you and understand how this project and its activities can actually help you, how we can feature your organization as well as Anna's work on the 26th of February, and how we can get, of course, mobilize your respective networks. So once again, thank you. If there are any additional comments or thoughts, we have just 2 minutes before I hand over to our Ukrainian-speaking team for the Ukrainian version of this meeting. Any final thoughts or comments, please type in the chat. And thank you, Carmen. Look forward to connecting, to being in touch with you and seeing many, many more people from your country and from your network and your organization participate on the 26th of February. Okay, I think that's it for today.
I just shared the link with my colleagues and I received already some likes, but I hope they will also participate too.
Okay, okay, yes. It is not the same, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Wishing you a wonderful trip with your and greetings to your wife and colleague. Yeah. And I hope that over these leaders and partners meetings, we not only deal with technical details and asking you if you can do this or do that, but that we also get to be human together just a little bit. So yes, and enjoy each other's company as well. Once again, thank you and goodbye.